fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up.
What is going on, world? Happy Monday. Welcome to a new week here on the Morning Spread, live on the Betting News Network. I'm your host, Nate Hornung, better known online as Shaggy Bets, and I'm unfortunately by myself up here today. Nobody is in the basement. Can't see anybody backstage helping me out, press the buttons. That is okay. We got a lot of hard workers here at Betting News. They deserve some time off. So we're running a solo show today. I'll be pressing the buttons but myself, but have no fear. We are still here, and we've got a lot of sports to chit-chat about. We had the opening EPL weekend, the English Premier League, kicked off this weekend. We had 9 matches so far. We've got one more this afternoon that we're going to be talking best bets in as Fulham and Chelsea go head-to-head to wrap up the match day 1 of the EPL weekend. We've also got to talk some college football, folks, because college football is finally here. Week 0 is upon us, less than a week away. Saturday begins week 0 in the college football world. We've got 8 games on Saturday, 8 games beginning as early as 11 a.m. Central as North Carolina and TCU begin kickoff in Dublin, Ireland. We've got games all the way until the night kickoff at 9 o'clock Central out west in Las Vegas as UNLV hosts Memphis. So 8 week 0 college football games on our schedules on Saturday. We're going to be talking about those throughout the entire week, especially on Friday's show, getting your guys the best bets for the weekend. And, of course, check out our new college football betting show, Study Hall, will be live on our Betting News YouTube middle of this week to discuss the Week 0 best bets. We already have our futures episode out at YouTube, so please go check that out, Study Hall episode 1 with all of our college football futures, Week 0 coming shortly. There's also plenty of soccer this week, not only today with Chelsea and Fulham, but we've got the Leagues Cup quarterfinals returning this week. 2 matches on Tuesday, 2 matches on Wednesday, as well as a full weekend of EPL, MLS, La Liga, Serie A, Ligue 1. We've got all of the big European soccer leagues back in action. We are 5 days away from college football week 0, and that means we are 1 week closer to the NFL season beginning as well. Sports are back, folks. The dog days of summer officially over. They've been over for a while now. It's football season. The fall is here. We are ready to roll. Tons of futures content over there at Betting News for both the college football realm and the NFL. So be sure to peep those scribbles as always. All right, folks. Well, Austin, hello. Welcome to the show. We're solo dolo. We're pressing the buttons by ourselves. We're going to do some geosports here in a little bit, but we still got some other things to talk about. Number one, first and foremost, Cleveland Browns announced they are starting someone as their starting quarterback, not Shadur Sanders. Shadur Sanders is going to be the official backup for the Cleveland Browns. That other guy, he is officially the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And I mean, it makes sense when you talk about how much money you paid this guy to come be your guy, your number one quarterback, and he hasn't been for the past few seasons. So I understand wanting to get the most out of that investment. You know what I mean? Because the contract he signed, just a ridiculous amount of guaranteed money, and he clearly has not proven to be worth that on the football field. Are the Browns still hoping he has some 2017, 2018 Watson still left in him? Yeah, absolutely. They hope so. And I would hope so too if I paid that man a ridiculous amount of money to not play football. So, of course, they're going to want to get him on the field. Personally, I think it's time you just cut your losses, cut that man, and move on. I mean, Shadur Sanders isn't going to be great, obviously, but it is time, if you're the Cleveland Browns, to move forward. Turn a page, right? Just put that whole nonsense situation behind you and move on to this young kid you drafted in, the 5th round to be your guy. So it is what it is. Cleveland announced that one dude will be their starting quarterback, at least for week 1. I saw an interesting tweet. It's, what's the over-under on how many games he starts? Is he going to last till week 4? Is he going to last till week 5? How long are they going to let that guy be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns? Because looking at Cleveland's schedule, I mean, it's not super friendly opening things up with 2 road games, actually, both in Florida. You go to Jacksonville, you go to Tampa Bay. Maybe you get an easy home opener against Carolina, but then the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. You got to go to New York and face the Jets. Baltimore comes to town. I mean, I don't see Watson starting past that Baltimore game week 6. I would give him 6 weeks before you move on. If I was a Browns fan, I would quit. I mean, we've already got a Browns fan asking for a new alliance in our group chat right now. Browns fans are jumping ship, and I totally get it. It is a sinking dumpster fire in Cleveland that they, again, I think it would be best just to cut ties with number 4 and move on. It is what it is, though. I'm not in charge, obviously. I'm here speaking with all you. Wouldn't have it any other way. I do not want to be in charge of the Cleveland Browns. Austin, yes, I guess I should spend some moments recapping that, even if Alex isn't with me this morning. I did have the pleasure of meeting our two youngins here at the Betting News Network, Mr. Bisney and Mr. Beast, Alex and Jackson. They made the trip down to Kansas City yesterday to come play a round of golf with this old guy right here and his little brother. Great match, phenomenal match. And it was more competitive than I anticipated. Now we played match play, and to give you guys some scope or some parameters, I'm a proud 15 handicap. I think you guys know that. Proud 15 handicap. All right. Little Shags, my teammate, he's probably like a 12 or a 13. Mr. Bisney, apparently he's a stick. He's more like a 10 handicap. And then you have Jackson. And look, Jackson is not the best golfer. All right. And that's okay. All right. That's okay, because Jackson knows he's not the best golfer, but the vibes never came down. Not even a meter tick. The vibes were always high from the start, despite the iffy to bad golf that was being played. The vibes never came down. So Jackson, I will play golf with him whenever. Same with Bisney as well. 2 stand-up gentlemen. Had a pleasure meeting them. Very glad I got to do that, since I won't be in Chicago this week. But if you're looking for what happened on the scoreboard, Lil Shags and I, we kind of dominated start to finish. Now, it got shaky in the back 9, but we went 3 up after 3 holes. And I had thoughts that this was going to be a 10-hole match, right? I thought we were going to close them out in 10 straight holes. That wasn't necessarily the case. They did not win their first hole until, I believe, number 11 was their first win, because we were up 3 after the first 3 holes. We got up to 4 up after 9, and then they got it down to only 2. We were only 2 up after, I believe, 13 or 14, and then eventually closed them out 4-2 after 16. So they made it competitive. All right, they made it more competitive than I anticipated. Lil Shags and I, we gave them 6 strokes, 6 strokes between the two of them. With us being the more skilled team, we could say, and with the home course advantage. They had, they drove 3 hours before a round of golf. That's never fun. You get stiff in the car, all that good stuff. But it was a blast. It was a blast meeting those two. Very, very fun kicking their butt on the golf course yesterday. So, Bisney, Beast, thanks for driving down. Thanks for driving down. It was fun kicking your butt, taking your money. Fun stuff all around. Yeah, so that is what happened yesterday on the golf course, at least in terms of the Betting News Network. But we had plenty of NFL preseason. We had a full weekend of EPL action. So let's get into kind of what we saw. What was interesting to me, at least in regards to the EPL, we went Friday and Saturday. We went 6 total matches without a draw. That was everybody's big thing in the World Cup. Oh, it's soccer. Just bet the draw. Just bet the draw and you'll profit. Well, if you did that to start the EPL season, you started out 0-6, right? You started out 0-6. You didn't have a single draw. And even on Sunday, you didn't get that first draw till the final match of the weekend. Nah, not of the weekend, but of Sunday. Brighton beat Aston Villa 4-0. Manchester City came back to beat Bournemouth 2-1 in a game that they did not deserve to win, but I am very happy that they pulled that out to cash our same game parlay. And then Liverpool battled back to get the draw against Newcastle on a 90-plus 9th minute stoppage time penalty. I did not see that penalty. I don't know. I have not seen a clip of it. I don't know if it was well-deserved or not, but it did ruin our push on an under, and it did give whomever the first draw of the EPL season. So we've had 9 EPL matches. We have had one singular draw. So all of you draw bettors, oh, it's soccer, just bet the draw, not doing so well to start off the EPL season. Like I said, 8 straight one-sided results in the EPL, followed with that draw in the 9th match. We've got one more EPL game today to wrap up match day number 1 in the EPL. That is Fulham and Chelsea going head-to-head today. Now, we talked with BTP about this match on Friday, and he's on Chelsea. He likes Chelsea on the team total. Over 1.5 goals for Chelsea, priced about minus 112 this morning is what I found. I believe that's came down plenty because I believe he told us it was about minus 130, minus 140 on Friday. So that number has come down significantly, much more playable number, especially when you compare it to Chelsea's money line. That's only minus 107. So 5 extra cents just to get Chelsea to score 2 goals, and there's your winner. You don't even need to worry about the result. I believe I mentioned that I would be more inclined to take Chelsea on the money line in that spot. That was just because of the perceived juice. This minus 112 juice, playable for me. If you had to bet a game, bet something in this Fulham-Chelsea match, Chelsea team total over 1.5 at minus 112, I think is the move. You could even do something in the first half as well with Chelsea because I just think this is a match that they start off red freaking hot. Obviously, Chelsea is kind of everybody's darling in the EPL this season. A lot of people high on Arsenal, but don't like the price to repeat as champions. Man City and Liverpool have a lot going on. Personnel changes, coaching changes, not high up on my list as well. And then Manchester United, they're Manchester United, right? We know what happened. They lost 2-0 to Hull City. That doesn't really set the tone for the rest of the season. But Chelsea leaves themselves, the Blues, as kind of that other top 5 team in the EPL. And again, it's kind of everybody's darling to sneak up and win this league, and for good reason, right? They have a proven manager coming in. Xabi Alonso did great things at Real Madrid, now looking to do great things in the EPL as the manager of Chelsea. Chelsea also added plenty of pieces. Morgan Rogers, most significantly, helping that attack paired up with Joao Pedro and Cole Palmer up top. Defensively, you did lose Marc Cucurella, but you brought in Maxime Lacroix, French national from Crystal Palace, to come help that defensive side of things. So, overall, Chelsea's going to be rock solid. And the biggest, the biggest caveat, I think, was why people are liking Chelsea to win the EPL is they're not playing in any European tournaments. They did not qualify for the Champions League, for the Europa League, even for the Conference League last year. Their full focus is on these 38 EPL matches. I think they come out red hot and get 3 points on the road here against Fulham. Again, I think they come out hot. They start off strong. They're not going to sit back and let the match come to them, even being on the road. I think this Blues team is going to be more aggressive, more goal hungry than they have been in the past. So as I'm talking this out with you right now, I'm actually going to book Chelsea team total over the 1.5 at minus 112, just for a unit, just for a couple of goals. Hopefully we get them close early. Hopefully we get 2 goals early. Then we can just relax the rest of the match, not needing Chelsea to hold on for that victory. So 2 goals from Chelsea is what we're rolling with in this EPL match today. Chelsea team total over 1.5 at minus 112 on the road at Craven Cottage. I still think they get the result here. So give me Chelsea to get 2 goals on the road in this final EPL match of the weekend. Fulham going to blow this year. Yep, more than likely. More than likely, Stifler. That is what's going to happen with Fulham. So, yeah, I think this is an easy Chelsea win. I think this can easily be 3-0 Chelsea, 3-1 Chelsea, whatever you think. Again, Chelsea on the money line, minus 107. This is a situation where I would be tempted to, lay the minus 1.5 with them for, God, that's got to be at least plus 200, right? Let's take a look. Chelsea, see if we can find this spread. Here we go. I mean, Chelsea minus the 1.5 is plus 230. I think if you're looking for some extra bang for your buck, Chelsea minus 1.5 could definitely be a move. Team you were most impressed with in their first game? I mean, the easy answer is Hull City, right? The easy answer is Hull City getting a dominating win over Manchester United. Yes, they were at home, but again, they're a newly promoted club playing one of the best five in the league. You get a 2-0 result that you, again, pretty much dominate start to finish. In terms of expected goals, it was 1.26 to Hull, 1.81 to Manchester United. Sure, United probably should have found the back of the net, but I mean, Hull City held them to just 5 shots on frame, only 2 big chances. Yeah, United controlled 72% of possession, but that was because they were playing from behind since the 17th minute of the game on the road. Hull City held strong, so very, very impressed with the Tigers this weekend. And, when you play 5 in the back, it typically helps you out. But I would say definitely Hull City is the easy one. Another newly promoted club, Ipswich Town, getting the win over Sunderland on the road. Now, Sunderland not one of the top 5 teams in the EPL like Manchester United is, but Ipswich Town battled back, got a 90th minute winner at home to steal 3 points from Sunderland in that match. So Ipswich Town and Hull City, 2 of the 3 newly promoted clubs, very, very impressed with this opening weekend. As far as teams I was not impressed with, obviously Man United, the easy answer, but then Tottenham. Tottenham, you just barely survived relegation. You signed a whole bunch of players this offseason. Then you go on the road against the Bees. You lose 3-0. 3 goals in the first 50 minutes of the game. I mean, Tottenham looked awful. Start to finish, nearly 4 expected goals for Brentford. 3.96 to just 0.47 for the Spurs. Yeah, the Spurs controlled 59% of possession, but just 3 corner kicks, 4 shots on frame. That was just Brentford domination from start to finish. So Tottenham, not impressed with you. Extremely underwhelming. Yeah, same with Liverpool, Jeff. I expected more from them as well. Liverpool, a team that I wanted to see it before I believed it from them this year with the new manager, with the new personnel coming in. But yeah, you fall down very quickly to Newcastle United. Just 5 minutes into the game, Newcastle finds a goal. 50 minutes later, you get an equalizer, but that doesn't hold on for more than 2 minutes before Newcastle takes another 2-1 lead, and Liverpool needs a stoppage time penalty to save them. Let's actually see if I can find that penalty, because I want to take a look. Because, again, this also ruined my under. We had the under 3 in Newcastle-Liverpool. We were looking at a push. I'm looking at it right now. I don't know. Let me pull it up for you guys. You guys can be the judge. Because, it can go either way. There's plenty of contact, but let me get this up for you guys. Hold up. Here we go. All right. Take a look at this penalty. See what you guys think.
الحكم طويلا ستيوارت أوتفيلد مينيوس دخل العرقلة وركلة جزاء ردد الحكم طويلا ستيوارت أوتفيلد.
He sells it well. He doesn't really touch the ball around the defender, though. Like, there's not a touch right there. Also, I have no idea what language that announcer is speaking, but yeah, I agree. I don't necessarily think that's penalty. Obviously, my bet was ruined by said penalty. Kind of think Liverpool was gifted a point there in that match, but whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, Liverpool, Tottenham, very, very underwhelming. Flowers definitely given out to Hull City and Ipswich Town for their performances this season, or this weekend rather. So, all right, that's some EPL chatter recap of the first weekend, giving you guys bets in this Monday match as well. Chelsea and Fulham, we're taking Chelsea team total over 1.5 at -112. We're going to get into some college football here in a little bit. We're going to continue the Dubs and L's segment. We've got 2 Big 12 teams we're actually looking at today. We're going to do that towards the end of the show. Arizona and Kansas State looks like what's on the schedule today for Dubs and L's. So we'll get into that college football here at the end of the show. Full Monday of baseball per usual. Looks like we've got 10 games. 10 games today on the baseball slate. I will have some MLB best bet scribbles out for you guys at bettingnews.com later after this show. But just looking at the slate, looking at the pitchers, who do I want to fade today? I will tell you, Zach Wheeler on the bump for the Phillies. On the road tonight against the Mariners out in Seattle. Logan Gilbert on the other side of things, which not necessarily a guy I like to fade, but he does see decreased splits at home. Hasn't been doing too well in his last few games. Gilbert giving up 3-0, 2-3, 3-3, and 4 earned runs, and it looks like his last 7 starts. ERAs come down a little bit during the month of August, but facing this Phillies team for the first time this year, I would worry about Mr. Gilbert. Not too worried about Wheeler. I think Wheeler's going to do fine. Sub 3.0 ERA. His splits actually improve on the road. 12 road starts for Wheeler already this season. 6-2, a 2.67 ERA. Sub 0 or sub 1.0 whip as well. Just 62 walks and hits allowed in about 67 innings pitched. Apparently Wheeler bats lefty. I don't think I knew that. But Phillies are bringing a 9-game winning streak into this matchup. I would certainly not be willing to fade them in this spot. Whether or not I back them, still up for debate. Let's take a look at the BN prediction engine. See what it's liking on the MLB slate today. Come on, you got to load every game for me. There we go. Because the Phillies, you can find them around -110. I think I was seeing like a -107 number as kind of the best available for the Phillies. Being prediction action likes the other side. Being prediction engine likes the Mariners barely. Barely likes the Mariners. 50.8%. Barely a coin flip confidence. Thinks the Mariners should be priced about -103. Technically, yes, that would be a play on the Mariners, getting them at plus money. But I don't know. I think I got to side with the Phillies here. Whether or not I'm going to take them, you guys can find out in my MLB scribbles after this show. But leaning with Philadelphia. I should probably look, see if that's going to fade Papa Shags. Because we don't want to fade Papa Shags. Can't be fading that, man. Phillies run line. Phillies run line from Papa Shags. So Philadelphia minus the 1.5 might have to be the move. The money line definitely in play. What a low total. A total just sitting at 6.5. With these two starting pitchers, Zach Wheeler and Logan Gilbert. I guess that makes sense. I mean, two name brand pitchers, but again, I just think the Phillies get this one. So leaning with Philly on the diamond today. Zebby Matthews on the bump for the Twins, but he's facing Jeffrey Springs in that Mickey Mouse Sutter Health ballpark out in Sacramento. That just seems like an overgame. Just seems like an overgame. Books would agree, setting that price at 10.5, -117 to the over 10.5 for the Twins and the A's today. Zebby Matthews, not good. Righty for the Twins. Jeffrey Springs, lefty for the Athletics. A combined 11.14 ERA. Not good, not great pitching at Sutter Health Ballpark either. Looks like Jeffrey Springs has given up 2 earned runs in how many straight starts? Dating all the way back to May. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 straight starts. 13 straight starts for Mr. Jeffrey Springs. He has given up at least 2 earned runs in those 13 games. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of those. He's given up at least 3. Just seems like an overgame. He gave up 5 to the Twins not too long ago at Target Field in just 1.1 innings. 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, just 1 walk in 1.1 innings last time he faced the Twins. Now, that was at Target Field. Now he's playing at Sutter Health Ballpark, where his splits got to get worse because that's a Mickey Mouse ballpark. Yeah, ERA up to a 6.63. at home for Mr. Jeffrey Springs. Let's look at Mr. Matthews. Oh, Zebby. What's Zebby done? Just one earned run against the Braves. He's won 3 straight starts in August. ERA down to a 4.6, which still isn't that great. 1, 4, 3, 3, 2, 8, 4, 4 earned runs allowed in his last 8 starts during the months of August and July. Twins have been giving him plenty of run support, though. Again, he gave up 4 against the Orioles. Twins scored 7. He still won. Gave up 6 total, 3 earned against the Brewers. Twins scored 8. He still got the win. Even giving up 3 against the Mariners. Twins scored 5. They got the win. He got out of there with a no decision. So we know Zebby Matthews is going to give up runs. The question is whether he's going to get run support from his offense. Against Jeffrey Springs, I would think so. At Sutter Health Ballpark, I would think so. And what do the Twins do against lefties? 236, that's kind of a significant drop-off. That gives me a little less confidence in this game, but Papa Shags, what do you got in this one? Anything? Nothing in this one from Papa Shags. Twins have lost 3 straight. 6 their last 9. Not great. Just 5-9 in their last 14 for Minnesota. Seems like an overs game. Books have it priced that way. 10.5 is the total. Twins and A's. I gotta lean with the over there. Phillies and then the Twins A's over, most likely making their way on to my baseball card. Now, both of those games later, 8:40 Central starts. Let's look at these 4 earlier games, see if we can find anything worth betting on. I see our guy Ryan Feltner on the bump for the Rockies on the road against the Nats in Washington. Feltner's just an obvious fave, right? Especially at home. Pitching in Coors, clearly. Splits get better on the road. I would expect that. But what's he done recently? Ryan Feltner, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 4, 2 earned runs in August and July, dating back to June as well. 1, 2, 2, 6, 1. Started off the year struggling, had a couple of good outings, and now he's struggled again for the past 2 months or so. 3-5 in his last 8 outings. He's been involved in the decision in every single one of those games. Rockies obviously 3-5. Those 3 wins against the Giants at home, against the Royals at home, and against the Diamondbacks on the road. I'm not worried about the Giants or the Royals offense. He still gave up 7 hits and 3 walks against the Diamondbacks, just 2 earned runs. 7 hits, 3 walks. That's plenty of base runners. Diamondbacks just couldn't get anybody around. We're going to have to fade Feltner today, aren't we? We're going to have to fade Feltner. Nothing for Papa Shags. We're not going to fade him. How are we going to back the Nats, though? Because the Nats, minus 182 on the money line. Cade Cavalli on the bump. Money line is coming down. You can get the run line for plus money. Nats 2-1 against the Rockies this year. Covered the run line in both of those wins. A 7-3 and an 8-0 victory. Other game, the Rockies won 8-7. Nats put up a fight. All of those games in Coors. Now we're playing at Nationals Park. Both these teams have sucked recently. Colorado, 6-game losing streak. Nationals, 4-game losing streak. And here I am wanting to back the Nats. 4-game losing streak doesn't mean anything. Being Prediction Engine thinks the Nats are a little overpriced, but a lot of confidence on the Nats side of things. The prediction engine likes him at minus 155. Best number I was seeing. Oh my goodness. Just open this odds board for me. Jeez Louise. Let's see. MLB. Yeah, schedule mains. So what? MLB, we're looking at the Nats. Best money line price. Minus 182. Minus 180. Minus 180 for the Nats. Way too juicy compared to the fair odds at minus 155, right? But they have over a 60% edge on the national side. I think that's enough for me to take their run line. Run line for the Nationals, plus 115. Looks like the best number. Plus 115 for the Nats on the run line. I should probably start writing these down. Makes it easier. All right, Nats on the run line, plus 115. We've got, what else did I say? Twins A's. Twins A's over. Find the best number for that. 10.5 minus 115. Yep. Twins, A's, over 10.5 minus 115 there. And then we said the Phillies on the money line is minus 110, minus 108. Minus 108. Phillies money line. Minus 108. Those are our 3 baseball bets for today, folks. 3 baseball bets. Put the scribbles out shortly after this show. Nationals on the run line. Washington Nationals minus 1.5, plus 115. We're going to take the Twins and the A's over 10.5 at minus 115. And then on the Phillies money line, minus 108. 3 baseball bets for today. Kind of in line with the prediction engine, kind of offline a little bit. But like I said, folks, that is just a tool, a free tool out there. bettingnews.com/MLB/picks. Get you to the BN prediction engine. Totally free tool to use. Use the tools, use your brain power, come up with a winner. Using the best of both worlds. But Nats on the run line, plus 115. Twins A's over 10.5 at minus 115. And then the Phillies on the money line at minus 108 are our 3 MLB bets for today. We've also got Chelsea team total over 1.5 at minus 112. It would be smart of me to put these into my good old-fashioned spreadsheet. That way I do not forget what I bet. Chelsea team total over the 1.5. That's minus 112. That was on Bet Online. We've got the Nationals run line. Nationals run line, if I can spell it right. That was on the Blue Book. We've got the over and the Twins A's game. It's super interesting to all you guys, right? Watching me fill out my spreadsheet that you can't see. Over 10.5, minus 115 for that. That was on Bet Online 2. And then we've got the Phillies. That was on the Green Book, actually. Phillies money line, minus 108 on the Green Book. Boom. All right. Spreadsheet's updated. We're ready to go. We got 3 MLB plays. We got 1 EPL play for today. Chelsea team total, over 1.5 on the pitch. 3 plays on the diamond. Nats run line, Twins A's over, and the Phillies on the money line. All right, there's some live labbing, folks. Jerry, welcome to the show. How we doing? What else do we got to talk about? We're going to do dubs and L's. Dubs and L's for Arizona and Kansas State coming up shortly. Week 0 of the college football season is upon us, just 5 short days away. Plenty of futures out there at bettingnews.com. Are these all my futures? I think these are all my futures. I think I'm missing one. think I'm missing one on the sheet of paper. I got it on the spreadsheet, though. 6 win totals. 6 win totals is what I'm rocking with right now. We've got 2 conference champion winners as well. No natty bets, no Heisman bets. You guys knew that if you checked out Study Hall, our new college football show here at Betting News. Go check it out on our YouTube. Week 0 picks coming this week for that show. We're going to be recording that Tuesday evenings, getting it out Wednesdays for you guys in preparation of the following college football week. So, PJ, myself, and Mr. Beast McNeese loading up Study Hall here tomorrow to get you guys ready for week 0. I do have one bet already locked in. It's actually out there at bettingnews.com. If you peeped a betting odds piece for the college football week 0, I put that out last week. I'll put it in chat for you right now if you want to go take a look at that. Just looking at the odds for the week 0 picks. Now, these odds have shifted plenty, folks. So I included that in the article, what the original line was back in May when these first numbers dropped. Obviously, they have been bet plenty up until right now. So, and we'll continue to be betting up until kickoff. So these lines continuing to move. Just be on the lookout. Make sure you haven't missed a good number, that kind of thing. Because, for example, this opening week 0 college football game, you've got TCU and North Carolina. They began the season against each other on Labor Day last year in Chapel Hill. This year, they are kicking off the entire college football season, week 0 in Dublin, Ireland at Aviva Stadium. Now, specifically with this matchup, everybody's been buying in on TCU, right? Nobody likes North Carolina. They're dealing with plenty of offseason drama with Lombardi's situation. No faith in Bill Belichick after his first season as a college football coach. But might I remind you, that career, collegiate coaching career for Bill Belichick last year, it started off extremely well. They had a perfectly scripted 7-play, 83-yard drive that resulted in an opening touchdown. After that, the wheels fell off. After that, TCU outscored them 48-7 en route to a 48-14 victory. Like I said, the Tar Heels have had plenty of offseason distractions, probably going to be one of the bottom feeders of the ACC. TCU, not necessarily going to be one of the better teams in the Big 12. I think they're definitely going to be better than North Carolina, especially week 0 in Ireland. In this match, TCU going to be the more focused team. However, the opening line for this TCU North Carolina game was TCU minus 6.5 back in May. And that 6.5 might have survived most of the summer as well, but it's long gone now. TCU now favored at minus 7.5, basically across the entire board. We all missed out on the touchdown, right? We can all agree. Minus 6.5, much better than minus 7.5 on the football field. With that in mind, I am probably still going to be betting the TCU Horned Frogs to win this game by double digits because I just think they are that much better than the North Carolina Tar Heels. However, keep in mind what these opening numbers were 3 months ago when betting these week 0 games this weekend, because another one that has moved plenty, USC, the Trojans, hosting San Jose State. They are currently favored by 39 points, maybe even 40 on some books. I'll be honest, I haven't checked the line in a week because I knew I wasn't going to be betting on this game. The original number, USC minus 35.5. They were already laying 5 touchdowns plus the hook. Now they're nearly laying 40 points against the San Jose State Spartans. Or is USC 40 points better than San Jose State? Probably. But you already missed out on 35.5. That number has gone up over a field goal now. You're asking for one more score from the Trojans. Can they get that? Absolutely. The total has adjusted as well. Opening numbers, 35.5 spread for the Trojans. Total was set at 57.5. Total up to 60.5 now. Trojans favored by 39 or 39.5. So those two lines moved in correlated fashion. I would be worried about backing the Trojans with that many points, but maybe the over could be the move if you think San Jose State is maybe good for a touchdown or two. We do have a conference matchup on week 0 on Saturday. NC State and Virginia playing in the ACC. The ACC doing something weird this year where part of their teams are playing 9 conference games due to previous scheduling situations, we'll call it. The other half of the conference is only playing 8 conference games. Weird, wonky. Hopefully for the college football playoffs committee's sake, Miami just runs away with that league and makes it very easy. One big league, put the Hurricanes in there. But again, some teams playing 9 conference games, some playing 8 conference games in the ACC. Very, very weird. But this NC State Virginia game, they met in week 2 last year. It was not a conference game. This year, they're meeting in week 0. And yes, it is a conference game. It counts for their conference record. So NC State, Virginia, you could be going into week 2, a non-conference game, week 1 rather, with a conference loss already on your record. We saw a ton of points from these two teams last year, 66 total points, I believe, in last year's meeting, 35-31 in favor of NC State. That was one of Virginia's few losses last season. Now they've got a new quarterback, Bo Pribula, coming in for the Cavaliers. I think he's going to be serviceable. They get this game at home as well, making it easier to beat the Wolfpack, who are going to be relying on CJ Bailey to do CJ Bailey things without some of his supporting staff from last year. Plenty more week 0 action. You've got Jacksonville State and North Dakota State. That should be cinema just because North Dakota State, a new FBS team this season. North Dakota State has spent the last several years dominating the FCS level of college football. Now they're moving up to FBS D1, playing in the Mountain West. But they got to start off their FBS season against Jacksonville State, one of the best rushing attacks in all of college football with Caden Creel. So Jacksonville State, a touchdown underdog in that matchup, probably seems about right to me. But again, you got to look at these opening lines. North Dakota State opened up favored by double digits in this game. This line originally dropped. North Dakota State was favored by 10 points. They are now favored by less than a touchdown. You can find North Dakota State for -6.5. If you like the Bison, I would advise you to keep waiting and maybe wait till the very last second to bet on this game. See if you can get the Bison down to -5.5, whatever it may be. Again, if you like that side of things. I don't know where I stand on this game right now. Probably going to avoid it. But if you like the Bison, I would advise you to wait because that number has continuously ticked down all summer long. Opened up as double-digit favorites, now less than a touchdown. Total moving that direction as well. So just be on the lookout. Sacramento State and Eastern Michigan. Sacramento State are other newcomer in the FBS this year. Sacramento State playing in the MAC of all conferences because that totally makes sense. But Sacramento State in for a character building season, if I had to guess. Eastern Michigan not going to be one of the better teams in probably not going to be one of the best teams in the MAC. Sacramento State, excuse me, they're playing this is a MAC game. These damn conferences and their realignments that happen every single year that make no geographic sense whatsoever. This is a conference game too. Yep, this is a MAC conference game. Sacramento State and Eastern Michigan, both of them playing in the MAC this year, opening up their season week 0 against each other in Michigan. So I think the Eagles probably run away with that one, favored by 10 for good reason. Florida State, New Mexico State. This is another one kind of like USC. FSU, a massive favorite for a reason, right? Favored by 31.5 to 31.5 as of right now. Lines moved about a field goal in their favor. They were only favored by about 4 touchdowns. Now you're laying over 30 points over 5 possessions with the Seminoles. Ashton Daniels, going to be a solid guy. Florida State seems like they're turning the page and coming back towards the top of college football. But laying the 31.5 with New Mexico State would worry me a little bit, especially looking at the line movement. Line has moved a field goal or over in Florida State's favor. Total has gone down a point. FSU should win big. I would be a little hesitant to lay that many points with the Seminoles. Excuse me. All right, 2 more week 0 matchups that we kind of got to discuss. Hawaii and Stanford opened up last year on the island. Hawaii won in a thrilling last-second field goal. They actually had a pair of field goals in the final 2 minutes to tie and then win that game. Now this game being played in California in Stanford. Stanford favored by -5.5. People are buying in on the Cardinal as well because they opened up just favored by a field goal. Now they are up to 5.5, even 6 in some spots. But the total's moving the other way. Total's coming down, dropped below 50, sitting at 49, maybe even going to continue to come down. If this game were on the island, we have to bet it, right? Late night on the island, that's just a principal bet. You got to either bet on the Rainbow Warriors or you got to bet on the over. Thankfully, this game not on the island, so principles aside, we can avoid it if we don't like anything. And I'll be honest, I'm not really liking anything. Maybe if Hawaii gets up to catching a full touchdown, I'll be inclined to back the Rainbow Warriors to cover the spread there. But as of right now, nothing in Hawaii and Stanford. That line movement and just this game just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm going to stay off of this one. But Memphis and UNLV, listen up, folks, because this is my first official game bet of the college football season. We got late night action in Sin City. UNLV hosting the Memphis Tigers. Now, UNLV opened up as a field goal favorite back in May, steamed up to 5.5, even 6.5, and there might even be some 7s out there right now. Despite that line movement, I'm not worried about the Rebels. I have laid the 5.5 with them. I bet UNLV -5.5 at -110 on Bet Online a couple of weeks ago. Last week. I think that number is still available. Let me check for you folks just to see if this number is available. There it is. UNLV still there. UNLV -5.5, -110. You can get that right now on Bet Online. I'm looking at it as we speak. Again, despite the line movement, I'm not worried. This Tigers team, one of the favorites on the American betting board. I do have a different team in mind to win that conference, but Memphis in a rebuild year. All right, Ryan Silverfield left to go be the head coach of Arkansas. Now he's going to go get beat up in the SEC. Memphis looking to scramble to rebuild that program. New head coach, new personnel, as again, a lot of them left for Fayetteville. On the other side of things, you got Dan Mullen in year 2 at UNLV, coming off a 10-4 season in his first year as a collegiate head coach in quite some time. Jackson Arnold, quarterback, coming to play for the UNLV Rebels. This is a former 5-star recruit, a former Power 4 quarterback. He spent time at Oklahoma. He spent time at Auburn. Now he's playing in the G6 in UNLV. While he didn't live up to the hype in those Power 4 conferences, I think he will succeed at the G6 level. I think he's going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the entire G6, not just the Mountain West. But again, I think UNLV is the right side here. Despite the line movement, I think they can win this by a touchdown. I would take the 5.5 sooner rather than later, as I believe this number is continuing to tick in the direction of laying a full touchdown with the Rebels. So I would urge you to just show me the odds. I get that there's scheduled maintenance, brother. Holy hell. I would encourage you to get that 5.5 with UNLV prior to Saturday, because again, I could see it steaming up to a full touchdown with the Rebels. Seeing these lines right now, if I can find them, here we go. -5.5, kind of actually across the board now. It looks like most 6.5s are gone. 5.5, it looks like where that number settled. Now, day of, there might be a lot of bets on UNLV, right? A lot of people are going to be seeing that late night game. They're favored by 5.5. I think UNLV money line is probably going to close off a whole lot of average Joe money line parlays. Therefore, that number might steam to protect the boost, to protect the books. So give me UNLV minus the 5.5. I would take that now before it moves up to 6.5 or 7. But that is what I got. Week 0 college football. We just kind of touched on the whole slate. But PJ and I will be recording Study Hall tomorrow along with Beast McNeese, talking all things week 0 best bets. We'll get that out for you on Wednesday, getting you ready for the weekend. And again, I will be continuing to share my best bets for the college football weekend all throughout the week right here on the morning spread. But again, UNLV minus the 5.5 at minus 110 have locked that one in. Now we're going to stick with college football, continue our Dubs and L's segment here on the channel for the final 9 minutes. But programming alert, folks. I appreciate you all being here bright and early at this new time, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, the morning spread right here live weekdays on the Betting News Network. Friday show. I'm going to try and remember to tell you guys this every single day this week. I'm not going to promise that that's going to happen, but I'm going to try. Friday's show will be a half hour earlier. All right. Daddy's got a doctor's appointment that I got to get to. So we're going to go a half hour earlier on Friday. That'll be 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central on Friday. BTP going to be joining me talking all things soccer for the weekend. But Friday's show, Friday, we're going half hour earlier, 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern on Friday. That will just be for Friday this week. Then we'll be back to the regular scheduled time. So, boom. There we have it, folks. Austin will help. Austin will be here. I love it. 9:30 Central, Friday morning. We're going to start a half hour earlier on this show. Morning spread's crazy. You spread in the morning, brother. Spread in the morning, man. We're checking out the spreads here in the morning, and we're going to move on to the Dubs and L's segment here of the morning spread for college football. We got 2 teams we're looking at today. Let's hope I press the right buttons when doing this. Boom. There's Arizona, K-State. Boom. There I am on the side. Let's talk some Dubs and L's for these 2 teams as we close out this show. Get my notes in front of me for the Arizona Wildcats and the Kansas State Wildcats. Actually, looking at both Wildcat teams today. As we look at the Big 12, let's start with Arizona. There they are, the Arizona Wildcats. Noah Fafita gonna be their quarterback once again, returning. It looks like 4 offensive starters and 5 defensive starters as well. This team was towards the top of the Big 12 last season, an 8-4 record, 9-4 with a bowl win. They were 9-3. 9-3, 9-4 with a bowl loss, to SMU last year. But how much faith do we have in Arizona going into the season? Personally, not a whole lot, especially with this schedule. They beat Northern Arizona, right? All right, 1-0 for the Wildcats, but you lose to BYU on the road. BYU going to be one of the best teams in the Big 12. I don't think they're going to drop that game. I think they assert their dominance. So 1-1 to start the season. I'll give you a win against Northern Illinois. I'll give you a win at Washington State. I'll give you a win at Cincinnati. 4-1 for the Arizona Wildcats at West Virginia on the road, yearning for that bye week. I don't think the Mountaineers are going to be good, but I think this is a game the Mountaineers could pull off the upset. We'll go 4-2 for Arizona. Then they face Iowa State at home. Everybody's beating Iowa State 5-2. Lose to Texas Tech 5-3. Then you get TCU and Utah at home, followed by Kansas State on the road before your rival. 5-3 going into those final 4 games of the year. TCU, Utah at home, at Kansas State against Arizona State. I see you losing to Utah and Kansas State. Can you get a split in those other 2 games to go 7-5? Probably. I think you beat your rival, and I think you can beat TCU too. But 7-5, maybe 6-6 for the Arizona Wildcats, it's not gonna cut it. That's not gonna give me confidence in them. Let me look at their win total, see if it's worth adding to the card. See if it's worth fading the Arizona Wildcats all season long. It's not, because their win total set at 7.5. Under 7.5 at -134. That's the side I would be on, but a little too much juice, especially considering I've got 6 other win totals out there. Don't need another one for this price. If we were under 7.5 for plus money, I would have different thoughts. But Arizona, No play on the win total. 7-5, I think, is your season this year. Maybe 6-6, 8-4 if you can squeak out an upset, barely getting you over your win total there. But leaning with Arizona on their win total under the 7.5 at -134. Not going to take it just because, again, plenty of bets out there, little too juicy for my liking. But let's talk about the other Wildcats, the Purple Wildcats, the Kitty Cats, the Kansas State Wildcats of Manhattan. New head coach, right? That's the biggest thing this offseason. Colin Klein, former offensive coordinator for Texas A&M, got Marcel Reed playing out of his shoes last year. No longer in College Station, head coach at his alma mater in Manhattan for the Kansas State Wildcats. Got a fucking fruit fly or some shit around here. That buddy needs to go. Let's talk about Kansas State. Avery Johnson, he's supposed to be the guy. Has not yet been the guy, but I firmly believe with Colin Klein calling the shots, running his offense, he's going to get the most out of Avery Johnson, just like he got the most out of Marcel Reed last year. That's going to be good for this Kansas State Wildcats offense. The defense only returning 2 starters, picked up 3 more in the portal. Defense probably going to be the weaker side of this team. Are they going to be able to score 30, 35 points a game to win? Let's find out. Don't have to travel once in non-conference games. They get Nichols, they get Washington State, they get Tulane, all coming to Manhattan, all wins for the Wildcats. At Cincinnati, boom, there's another win, 4-0. Early bye week, kind of sucks for the Wildcats. It is what it is. You get that bye week going into facing Houston, who's arguably your toughest game of the year. At home against Houston is anybody, not just looking at Kansas State, but if facing Houston at home is the toughest game on your college football schedule, you're probably in good shape. Houston at home, Kansas State can win that one, 5-0. They beat Kansas, Sunflower Showdown at home, doesn't matter. At Arizona State, at Colorado, doesn't matter. 2 more wins for Kansas State. At TCU, probably a win. Arizona, at home, should be a win. At Iowa State, everybody's beating Iowa State. Kansas State could legitimately go 12-0. They are the 4th, 5th best betting option to win the Big 12 behind Texas Tech, BYU, Utah. You don't see any of those teams on their schedule. Kansas State could very easily go 12-0. Now, that would require them to play their best every week of the year, which I know is sometimes tough to do for the Kansas State Wildcats. There's some games they have a weaker opponent coming to town. They play down to their level, barely squeak out a win at Bill Snyder. But with this schedule, with the new head coach, with the players that they have, this could be a very good season for the Kansas State Wildcats. I absolutely think there's value on them to win the Big 12. You can find them priced at 19-1 at least, maybe even 20-1 out there to win the Big 12. I think there's definitely value on the Wildcats in that situation because, again, you can get there without having to play Texas Tech, Utah, BYU. Okay, you face one of them in the Big 12 championship. Let's go worst case scenario. Let's say hypothetically you face Texas Tech. Do we really think Kansas State is going to be a 19-1 underdog in a single Big 12 championship game? Absolutely not. You're going to be holding a fantastic number at 19-1 or greater for Kansas State to win the Big 12. Now, looking at this team's win total, I know our guy PJ is on Kansas State over their win total, which I believe is priced at 9.5, 8.5. Over 8.5 wins at plus money for the Kansas State Wildcats. Look, you can't really see it. I got a KU flag flying behind me, right? I am a Jayhawk guy. I bleed red and blue. I am very clearly anti-K-State most of the time. with this schedule, with this personnel, I will have to add Kansas State over 8.5 wins to my card. I'm seeing plus money, plus 132. I'm always going to line shop, folks. You have to line shop every single bet that you place. Straights, parlays, doesn't matter. Line shop every single one. Please and thank you. Get the best bang for your buck. Because if I bet this just blindly on the green book, as opposed to the blue book or the other books that I'm going to look at, I'd be losing 10 cents of value. K-State over 8.5 wins, plus 125 on the green book, plus 132 on the blue book. 7 cents, 7 cents of value, whatever. You get the point. We're going to continue line shopping this because, again, I want to get the best number possible, especially betting plus money. You guys just saw the difference right there in those two wagers. Let's look at Kansas State. Show me 8.5 plus 125 again. So that 132 number looks like our best. We might have to just go back to it, and that's okay as long as we did the line shopping and we make sure we're getting the best bet. Kansas State over 8.5. Yeah, see, only plus 110. Only plus 110 on the days of the yearbook. That's 22 cents that you're just giving back to the book if you don't line shop. Always, always, always line shop, folks. Please and thank you. One more book I got to look at, Kansas State, plus 125 as well. So, yeah, plus 132. I'm going to add that to my card. I predicted just 12-0 for the Wildcats. I think even if they drop a couple games, they don't drop more than 3. Kansas State over 8.5 wins at plus 132 has been added to my card. And that's what we got, folks. That is the morning spread right here live on the Betting News Network. Appreciate you guys being here. As always, again, Friday, we will start a half hour earlier. I'm going to try really hard to remind you guys every single day, but you'll see me back here, same time, same place tomorrow, 10 o'clock Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, live on the morning spread. I'll be back for afternoon Betspresso tonight as well, so come on back at 4 o'clock Central on the channel for that. We'll be giving you guys plenty of MLB and WNBA and so much more, continuing the Dubs and Ls in the NFL as well. I think it's our last NFL team we have to do for the Dubs and Ls here on the Betting News Network. So come on back for Betspresso in about 5 hours, and I will see you guys then. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Remember, we're sweating out Chelsea team total here in 3 hours this afternoon, along with plenty of MLB as well. Peep Betting News for those scribbles. And I will see you guys later. Adios. Enjoy your Monday. Peace.
What you know about rolling down in the down in the
Now I know we all be loving this shit right here.
rolling.
What you gonna do?
Rolling.
What you gonna do?
Down in the rolling.
What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit.
What you know about